Hello and good afternoon. Today we are going to be presenting how the supply chain management helps Toyota become a leader in its industry. Presenting in our group will be Jose Toledo, Gustavo Barrera, Alex Nane, and myself, Carlos Chen. Now we will be beginning. The founder of Toyota, Sakichi Toyota, started with the loom company. His son Kiichiro founded the motor company in 1937. After World War II, Japan was in a tough spot regarding its economic position, where it was difficult for companies to get materials since Japan was not well for the natural resources needed for the automobile production. Their main thinking was to work on a narrower margin because of the shortage of materials. For example, the Model K truck used one headlamp instead of two, and only had brakes on one axle. When Toyota had its better turning point was when the Toyota production system was improved after a trip to the US and their visits to a Ford's plant in Michigan, and viewed the enormous scale of the whole plant in operation. Where in these plants in the US, they stored huge amount of stock in warehouses and Japan couldn't have the conformity of these systems. What impressed them was a visit to a supermarket called Piggly Wiggly, where they produced just enough parts on the first phase to what is being used on the following. This is how the just-in-time system is born, eliminating waste perceived in Ford's system and making smaller number of parts for just when they are needed. Inside the just-in-time process comes into place the scheduling method called Kanban, where goods are in, goods can come into production and goods come out. At the Toyota plants, a cord is placed on every station and any worker could stop the production line in case they saw a problem. The whole team would be hands-on and worked on the problem to stop from happening again. Because of the culture of continuous improvement known as Kaizen, inside the TPS system, or Toyota Production System, Toyota is known as an affordable and reliable car company. Their improvement was huge and can be seen in the comparison of cars manufactured in 1962. 1 million vehicles were made, and in 1972, 10 million vehicles were made. As seen in the chart, it took to make a car every 1.6 man-hours in comparison to other competitors. Other companies have been trying to learn their lean way for the Toyota production system, with constant improvements such as Boeing, Intel, and even a Canadian hospital uses it to decrease waiting times in the ER. Toyota's goal is to make and deliver vehicles quickly and efficiently, the Toyota way, just based on two principles. The first one is just in time. When parts are needed, the parts arrive exactly at the time they are supposed to. This helps keep the factory floor clean and running smoothly. It doesn't have extra parts, instead they are made for the exact moment. Most suppliers have their facility next to the assembly plant. It is better for minimal transportation costs and maximized efficiency. The second point is Jidoka, or called automatization with a human touch. This emphasizes that quality is made during the operation process and everyone look for ways to increase efficiency with constant improvements. They also look for a long-term investment on their human resources by providing them with education and training programs.
Toyota's supply chain has many strategic and competitive advantages, but without a doubt, some of the most important and that make the biggest difference with its competitors are: first, the V4L framework. This is a continuous improvement process that aims to generate a balance of key supply chain parameters to enable learning. It is carefully documented and evaluates 4 V's. The first one is the variety of products offered, then the velocity of product flow, variability of outcomes against forecast, and finally, visibility of processes across the supply chain. This has helped Toyota to reduce their costs and improve their product quality. Then we have their just-in-time system, one of Toyota's greatest prides, which has revolutionized the world of assembly and production. It consists in having the parts to assemble the cars arrive exactly when they are needed in production. This helps avoid excess inventory expenses and waste associated with overproduction or waiting for the materials to come. Another competitive advantage is their technology. As we have seen in other companies as Amazon and Walmart, this is very important for production lines and especially for massive companies to be able to deliver. They use a technique called Heijunka. This technique is used to facilitate just-in-time production, and it means production leveling, finding and keeping average production volumes. It's used to smooth out production in all departments as well as that of the supplier over a period of time. It centralizes information and workflow from suppliers, production, logistics, shipping, etc., helping everybody know exactly where everything is and when anything is needed. They also have fully automated factories. One of the inventions of Toyota for the production lines is that it can be easily stopped by any employee to fix a problem, work with others on the problem, and make sure that it won't happen again before restarting the line. This helps them avoid future problems and time. We could keep going, but the real difference is in Toyota's DNA, its culture, and it all can be summarized in the principles of their philosophy, the Toyota Way, which are long-term philosophy, continuous improvement, root cause analysis and solution for problems, respect for their employees and their growth, and teamwork. These characteristics are impregnated in everything they do, and that is how Toyota changed the way supply chain management works and became a referent for many different industries.
Toyota, despite being well-structured and being one of the largest car sales company, has certain challenges and threats to which you should pay attention. Some of them are e-commerce. Toyota has lagged behind in terms of e-commerce innovation since it is one of the last companies that has joined these platforms. So its platforms are very basic and they must invest in it. For the second phase of the platform, they want to ensure that the delivery of the vehicles is directly for the customer and prevent it from arriving with the dealer to make the sale of the product more efficient. The second is the automation. Automation in Toyota's manufacturing factories is basic. When you visit a warehouse, it can be seen that the technology is not the best according to the development that has been generated in the recent years. However, they see the opportunity to innovate and update technology to install more efficient and productive equipment than most companies have. Another is the data information. They seek to implement a better system where the data and the information that is registered helps to facilitate the distributor or customer to purchase or search of a part or a product that they wish to buy. Then, it is the painting vehicles. Toyota is on the lookout for the 3D printers can offer later, be it a complement or a threat. Another challenge for Toyota is reduced lead time. Toyota looks to eliminate the process of painting vehicles since they are one of the most delayed process and accelerate the delivery of products to the customer. And the last challenge is expansion or business growth. Take advantage of any business opportunity or expansion of the company since the increase in the sales depends on this, and by not taking this type of opportunities, the competition will. As we saw in the cases of Amazon or Apple, innovation and technological updating must be constant in companies to achieve greater effectiveness and efficiency when developing products and delivering them to customers. Companies seek to eliminate the stages of the production process to speed up the delivery of products and thus gain an advantage over the competition through it. In addition, the use of information can be provided to customers and distributors as important to facilitate the customer search as well as provide better customer service.
As we know, supply chain is essentially the backbone of any business. That's why it's critical to monitor and optimize relevant supply chain metrics. Toyota is listed on the London Stock, New York Stock, and Tokyo Stock Exchange. We will show the most relevant supply chain financial key performance indicators. By 2020, Toyota has more than $20 billion in inventory. That represents the 4.8% of all its assets. The graph shows in the primary axis the book value of the asset on US dollars, and on the second axis the inventory percentage. That remained in the range of 4.5 to 5% for the last 5 years. However, metrics must be compared to be relevant. Inventory turnover is a financial ratio that shows how many times a company has sold and replaced inventory during a given period. as low turnover implies weak sales and possibly excess of inventory, while a faster ratio implies either strong sales or insufficient inventory. Graph shows that Toyota, the yellow one, has an inventory turnover of 9 times per year. It's one of the best companies on the industry. However, the inventory turnover index has dropped in the recent years, as you can see in the graph number 2. DSI indicates the liquidity of the inventory and represents how many days a company's current stock of inventory will last. Generally, a lower DSI is preferred as it indicates a shorter duration to clear off the inventory. Graph shows that Toyota needs 43 days to clear the inventory. It's the third best rate of all the peers. The final metric is Cash Conversion Cycle, CCC. It's a metric that expresses the time, measured in days, that takes for a company to convert its instruments of inventory and other resources into cash flows from sales. CCC involves calculating the net aggregate time involved across the above 3 stages of the cash conversion life cycle, as you can see in the formula. DSO means Days Sales Outstanding. It's a measure of the average number of days that it takes for a company to collect payment for a sale. DPO means Days Payable Outstanding, and it's a financial ratio that indicates the average time in days that a company takes to pay its bills and invoices to its trade creditors. The next chart shows that Toyota has an average of 25 days of CCC. That number says that Toyota collects outstanding payments quickly and makes good forecasts for inventory needs. The last chart shows that Toyota has a healthy CCC compared to the industry. It's the yellow one. All metrics that we have studied shows that Toyota has a good balance between its stock level and the satisfaction of the customer needs based on a good supply chain management. I'd like to thank you for your time and attention today.